Do you struggle to make yourself heard? Do you sometimes find that people are not listening to you and you speak and then it feels a bit like they're not even reacting to what you're saying and they just start talking about their own thing? If that's how you feel sometimes, I have a few things that I wanted to share with you that might well help you to change that, because in many cases, this can be something that you're actually causing yourself. So my name is Stephan Erdman and I'm a communication and impact coach. And I've been working on this topic, for example, with a number of clients over the years. So I want to address some of the things that can typically go wrong that actually create this effect that people aren't really hearing you. People are just literally carrying on talking about what they want to talk about when you've just made a point that seemed very reasonable. Now, very often it's not what you're saying, but it's how you're saying it. So here are a few things that I want to share with you that you can easily switch around. Now, the biggest question I need to ask you first of all, are you 100% sure that you 100% want to be heard? Because for a lot of people that are not heard, they're holding back from actually truly wanting to reach out to the other person and making them listen. Now, in order to actually want to be heard fully, and to command someone else's attention, which really you need to do, you need to feel confident in what you're saying. You need to feel it's worth saying what you're saying. And more importantly, you need to have a goal for the interaction other than just giving information. You need to want the other person to do something as a result of what you're saying. The number one goal of communication is what? It is to get the other person to do something. Otherwise, there's no point in communicating. It could be simple things like to smile, or to like you, or to laugh, or to take a certain action, or just to carry on listening. So, for example, if you start a story, you want to start the story, and then while you're telling the story, you want the person to carry on listening to you, and so you do a number of different things that enables the other person to stay hooked. And that has to do with your body language, it has to do with your voice tone. You might want to use an intriguing voice. You might want to use a voice tone that says, "Oh, you're going to be interested in what I'm going to have to say next. And then we go to this part, and then we get to this part. But wait, here's the best bit." Now, very often, when this goes wrong, people have got so used to playing it safe and not truly wanting to reach out to another person, to not truly want to affect another person, that they end up basically being very neutral and just give information. So, for example, if I spoke to you like this and I said, you know, what you really need to do is you need to have a stronger intention to reach the other person and make sure that they really hear you. If you don't have that intention, then you're not going to be heard. You get a good example, I think, of what can happen if you don't truly open yourself up to trying to reach the other person. What are the tools you have at your disposal? Well, body language, voice tone, and the actual words you're using. Let's focus on body language for a second. Your face, when you have a real goal and you want to reach out, will have an intensity, will have focus, you will give good eye contact, you will focus and get the person to react to you visually as well. It would be impossible as a human not to react in some way, yeah, when you are this intent about it. What about voice tone? You probably hear it with me right now, right? I have a certain voice tone that is very intent on reaching you through the lens. There is a certain intensity. There is a bit of passion in there. I'm trying to have an impact on you. So you can hear that in the voice. And many people have trained themselves to not have that impact because in normal everyday situations, it can feel a bit intense. If you go to the supermarket and you go to the cashier and you say, "Hi, how's your day going?" It's very different from the usual that you see. "Yeah, hi, yeah, how much?" So one thing I always get coaching clients to do is the following. Practice in these everyday situations to be really intentional with how you communicate, where there's nothing at stake. But for you, there is something at stake because you're practicing with intention. So you're super clear about what you want them to do, how you want them to react, and how you're going to reach them. That's how, over time, you'll train yourself to be somebody that people can't ignore, that people will listen to, because you want them to listen, and you have the tools to make them listen. Now, one of the simplest systems that I haven't told you about yet is something that I've learned in drama school. This is something that actors use all the time, good actors at least, in order to seem truly alive, connected to the other character in a film or in the play. And that's something called psychological activities. And these psychological activities are verbs that will help you enormously to focus on one thing when you're communicating with somebody. So one of those verbs is to intrigue, which is a really great activity to focus on when you're talking to somebody. So I'm going to ask you, what would happen if you went to my website, you downloaded this document, you printed it out, you stick it somewhere where you can remember it, and every day you focus on one or two of these psychological activities and you try them out with people in your everyday life. And you just see what happens. That was me trying to intrigue you to go to my website and download this document. Now, that was just one of many, many verbs that I have on this page. It's a one-pager, it's simple, you can download it and you can use it for the rest of your life. When I was in drama school, this became a life changer for me. Honestly, there's so many benefits to using these psychological activities in your life. It also makes your life very exciting, to be honest, and it just makes you so much more compelling. So if you are interested in really taking your life to the next level, at least download that document. And also, if you want my personal help, just get in touch when you join the newsletter. Thanks for watching. Let me know your comments, questions, and all of that good stuff here in the comments.